In the world of nutrition, it's easy to fall into the trap of labeling foods as good or bad. However, the reality is much more nuanced. While no single food needs to be completely avoided by everyone, science has uncovered some surprising insights about certain foods that might make you think twice before consuming them in large quantities. Let's explore some foods that current research suggests we should be mindful of, and why. Ultra-processed foods, which include many packaged snacks, sugary drinks, and ready-to-eat meals, have become a staple in many diets. However, recent research has raised concerns about their impact on health. A study published in the British Medical Journal found that higher consumption of ultra-processed foods was associated with a higher risk of cardiovascular disease, coronary heart disease, and cerebrovascular disease. Another study in Cell Metabolism showed that people eating ultra-processed foods consumed more calories and gained more weight compared to those eating a diet of whole or minimally processed foods. The surprising part? The negative effects of ultra-processed foods go beyond their typically high sugar, salt, and fat content. Researchers believe that food additives, compounds created during food processing, and the displacement of whole foods in the diet all play a role in the harmful effects of these foods. Grilling is often considered a healthier cooking method, but when it comes to meat, high-temperature cooking methods like grilling can create potentially harmful compounds. Research published in the journal Cancer Epidemiology, Biomarkers and Prevention found that high intake of well-done, grilled or barbecued meats was associated with increased risks of colorectal adenomas, a type of polyp that can be a precursor to colorectal cancer. The culprits are heterocyclic amines, or HCAs, and polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons, or PAH, compounds formed when meat is cooked at high temperatures. These compounds have been shown to be mutagenic, that is, they can cause changes in DNA that may increase the risk of cancer. This doesn't mean you need to give up grilled meats entirely. Marinating meat before grilling, avoiding charring, and using lower heat can all help reduce the formation of these compounds. Artificial sweeteners have long been promoted as a way to enjoy sweet tastes without the calories. However, emerging research suggests they might not be the magic bullet for weight management they were once thought to be. A study published in the Canadian Medical Association Journal found that routine consumption of artificial sweeteners was associated with increased risk of long-term weight gain, obesity, diabetes, high blood pressure, and heart disease. Even more surprising, research in the journal Nature suggests that artificial sweeteners can alter gut bacteria in a way that causes glucose intolerance, potentially increasing the risk of type 2 diabetes. This effect was seen even in artificial sweeteners that don't get absorbed into the bloodstream, suggesting that the impact on gut bacteria plays a crucial role. Canned foods are convenient and often nutritious, but the linings of many cans contain bisphenol A, or BPA, a chemical that has raised health concerns. Research published in Environmental Health Perspectives found that people who consumed one serving of canned soup daily for 5 days had a 1,000% increase in urinary BPA concentrations compared to when they consumed fresh soup. BPA is an endocrine disruptor, meaning it can interfere with hormone systems. Studies have linked BPA exposure to various health issues, including obesity, diabetes, and reproductive problems. While many manufacturers are now using BPA-free cans, it's worth being mindful of canned food consumption, especially for pregnant women and young children. Fish is often lauded for its health benefits, particularly its omega-3 fatty acids. However, some fish, especially large predatory fish, can contain high levels of mercury, which can be harmful to human health. A study published in Environmental Health Perspectives found that higher fish consumption was associated with higher blood mercury levels. High mercury levels have been linked to neurological and developmental problems, particularly in fetuses and young children. Fish high in mercury include shark, swordfish, king mackerel, and tilefish. However, this doesn't mean you should avoid fish altogether. Many types of fish are low in mercury and high in beneficial nutrients, The key is to choose wisely and vary your seafood choices. Alcohol, the double-edged sword. While moderate alcohol consumption, particularly red wine, has been associated with some health benefits, recent research has called into question whether any level of alcohol consumption is truly safe. A large-scale study published in The Lancet found that the safest level of drinking is none. The study concluded that the protective effects of alcohol against some heart conditions were offset by higher risks of cancer and other diseases. Moreover, research published in Nature suggests that even moderate drinking can alter the structure and function of the brain. The study found that moderate alcohol consumption was associated with reduced gray matter volume and white matter integrity. Added sugars, the sweet deception. While natural sugars found in fruits and vegetables are generally not a concern, added sugars in processed foods and beverages have been linked to numerous health issues. A study published in JAMA Internal Medicine found that people who got 17 to 21% of their calories from added sugar had a 38% higher risk of dying from cardiovascular disease compared to those who consumed 8% of their calories from added sugar. What's particularly surprising is how pervasive added sugars are in our food supply. They're found not just in obvious sources like sodas and desserts, but also in many savory foods like bread, salad dressings, and sauces. Being aware of hidden sources of added sugars can help you make more informed food choices. Refined carbohydrates, the blood sugar roller coaster. Refined carbohydrates found in foods made with white flour and added sugars can cause rapid spikes in blood sugar and insulin levels. Over time, this can lead to insulin resistance and increase the risk of type 2 diabetes and other health issues. A study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that a diet high in refined carbohydrates was associated with a higher risk of depression in postmenopausal women. Another study in the same journal found that replacing refined grains with whole grains reduced liver fat and improved insulin sensitivity, the surprising part. Some foods marketed as healthy, like many breakfast cereals and granola bars, can be high in refined carbohydrates. Reading labels and choosing whole grain options can help you avoid the blood sugar roller coaster. Trans fats, the phased-out threat. While trans fats have been largely phased out of the food supply in many countries due to their negative health effects, they can still be found in some foods, particularly in some developing nations. Research has consistently shown that trans fats increase the risk of heart disease. A study published in the British Medical Journal found that higher trans fat intake was associated with a 34% increase in all-cause mortality and a 28% increased risk of coronary heart disease mortality. Even in countries where trans fats have been banned, they can still be present in small amounts in some foods due to production processes. Being aware of potential sources of trans fats, such as some baked goods and fried foods, can help you minimize your intake.